while you were a part of going into the season, and you mentioned that a big thing for you was just being able to come back here. For you, why was it important to come back to Michigan, and what do you hope to bring to a much different Pistons team than the ones you left a few years ago?
Yeah, for sure. First off, it's a pleasure to be back. Um, just when I came here in my career, this was like a huge step for me in terms of the growth and development of my game and being able to flourish here under Stan Van Gundy. And, this place always meant a lot to me, and more so, on the basketball floor, but outside the court as well, off the floor. And then when the opportunity came this summer, looking at the roster, looking at the pieces that were added and the coaching staff, it just made overall sense for where I am in my career and the growth and trajectory that I want to continue to have in playing and impacting. And so just being back has been special to me, been awesome. It's like a, nostalgic feel coming here and seeing the way the city has been built up, even just downtown. It's like, it's amazing to see, and then just to also know that more growth is needed and will be done. And this city is prime for a success story. And I look at this team and this group that we have, and just really excited to get to work because I know we have a lot to prove. We have a lot to kind of change and get the respect back on our name. And I'm blessed and fortunate to be in this situation and be a part of it. So, I can't say enough about my excitement level, but also knowing that there is a lot of work to be done, and we have to take those right steps in the right direction to do it.
And outside of wins, what are some other ways that you're hoping to really impact this team?
When you look at just the leadership component to it, making sure that the young guys understand how to be pros on and off the floor, make sure they understand, what it really takes going into this gig. When you're young, there's a lot of responsibilities, but it's taking care of your body, it's taking care of your mental, it's taking care of, whatever outside objects come your way, but also navigating and understanding the game and studying your craft, understanding who you're playing against, your matchup, all of our schemes, offensively, defensively, off the floor, making sure you're taking care of your money that you're getting as well, making sure that you're making outside the floor is stable, so being on the floor is as easy as it can be. So for me, just that leadership component of playing in this league, going into my 14th year, going through ups and downs, being able to bounce back and understand, stay positive through every situation, I think is key. That type of experience, open book for all these guys, and being here and being around these guys, the questions they ask, but more importantly, how well they listen and are receptive to feedback. Constructive criticism is huge. So, I just think that component, as well as what I bring to the floor on the basketball court, playing wise, I think is a great element and piece for this group.
Tobias, when Trajan spoke to the media, he talked about how you wanted to come here, and you're fresh off of 5-7 years in a row of just being in the championship circle, fighting for a title with 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪. Other than being playing in Michigan before, why did you want to come back to the Pistons?
It was just a fresh start in a place that's familiar for me, and I wanted to really be a part of something that I thought was growing in the right direction. And you could look at it on paper, but sitting down and talking to Trajan, talking to Cade, and seeing where his mental was at the time and where he wanted to get to as a player, made me really realize that this is some really moving forward in the right direction. And I think everybody wants a underdog story of a team that's kind of come from the ground up and really established themselves and does all the things that the fans would want to see and want to support in a group. And the personnel in this locker room is fit for that. So for me, it was really about that, and about making a true impact on a game of basketball. And I just always thought the opportunity was really fitting for myself and where I was, where I am in my career. And Yeah.
So you think it's refreshing not to be somewhere where it's championship or bust?
I think that in this game, um, you know, only one team wins the championship, right? And everybody goes into the season believing that, you know, it's that, you know, what our expectations is to win as many games as possible. So there's never really like a clear cut, like championship or bust situation, right? Like, you know, the only one I would really say is like probably the team that won the championship last. You know, if you sign with them, it's like championship or bust because that's your expectation. But for me, like, I understand where this team is coming from, but I also know the trajectory of where we can go and the talent level that we have in this group, and the expectations that we have and JB has for our team is that we have to get better every single day, and we got to go on that floor and really show people, you know, what we're made of. So that in itself, it will be, you know, it won't be easy, but at the end of the day, I believe in this group, and I understand that we do have enough to make noise and make some things happen. So, but we'll see, like with this training camp and getting everybody together and building chemistry and really just helping these young guys tap into their potential is going to be the greatest gift for this whole organization.
There's been a lot of talk about, you know, just, you know, buzz around the Tigers and the Lions, with their success that they've been seeing of late. You're the one active player on the roster who's been a part of a playoff run in Detroit. Is that something that, you know, that buzz and energy, is that something that excites you about seeing this, you know, the restoration of this franchise? That's something you talk about with some of the younger players on this team?
For sure. Like, you know, that was when we made the playoffs here versus Cleveland and the Palace. You know, that was a surreal feeling, just like getting there and you know, being a part of that with that group. And you know, every playoff experience that I've been a part of is always, that's the excitement of it. Like you play this game to play at the highest level and win at the highest level, and achieving that goal to get to the playoffs, to be able to get that feeling and understand what that atmosphere feels like for a lot of guys in this locker room that haven't been there. Like, that experience holds weight for what's next, how you approach the game. And so bringing that type of demeanor to this group, I think, is important, and understanding, like, look, you know, every possession matters. Every detail matters. And when we go into our first game, that's how we have to approach it. Like, you know, you got to understand, because in playoff basketball, every single possession matters. And so those type of details are key. JB and you know, his staff obviously just got off a you know, playoff experience as well, and so, you know, those details will be implemented in our training camp of understanding, because you know, what happened last season is not the road that we want to be on this year, and it's a new start, fresh team, fresh coaching staff. So let's get to work, and let's make our city proud.
What were your
I want to say, I think it was like in 2015, 2016, when JP Bickerstaff first got his opportunity coaching the Rockets in Cleveland. As an opponent, what can you share about preparing for JP Bickerstaff team, and how much of that has you kind of seen already instilled here in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, you know, his groups are always going to play together, always going to make sure that they're organized, schematically, like offensively and defensively. A lot of ball movement, defensively, just being in the right spots, taking away something from the opponent that works for them. So the whole staff does a lot of homework, a lot of work, and I've already seen that early on just by some of the sets and details and where he wants us defensively, and how we make different reads on the basketball floor. So you know, very sharp staff, well-prepared staff that also expects the best out of his players, and really allows his players to explore and figure out ways that they can be at their best selves and best abilities.
What were your impressions of K just playing against him, and since you've come here and I've gotten to know him better, play against him more, how has that updated compared to last season?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been extremely high on his game, just his ability to be at that size, at the one position, I think is like super key. And I think that, you know, I told him, like, this year he's got to take that big step into, you know, really turning himself like as one of the best guards in the whole entire NBA, right? And that happens through winning, and that happens through guys understanding that you're leading this team at the point guard position. But overall, I mean, he's a sharp competitor, wants to win, works his tail off. Very good leader as well for a player at that age. Very mature for his age, and just a pro. He's a professional, and he has a ability to be a superstar in this league. And my goal is to make sure that he's pushed to that and held to that standard every day that he steps in the gym and comes out there on the basketball court to lead our team. And so I'm excited to be able to get on the floor with him.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Tobias.
Thanks, y'all.